Hi, Leo. Welcome back to the Terology 33 channel. This is your September 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main of interest. When we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. Also, keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Four of Cups, Cancer energy, and the Eight of Arrows, Gemini energy. So, Four of Cups energy usually represents being offered something but not being happy with what is being offered. But usually the tricky part with that is it's like, okay, you're being offered things that you don't want, but you're not necessarily going after what you do want, right? And then the Eight of Arrows also seems to support that same energy too, which is to say, it looks like there might have been things being offered to you, but you weren't necessarily expressing what you did want. Now, another way I could see this energy playing out too, it could just be saying, given that her back is turned to the cards on this side, it could just be saying that you might have been acting like you were uninterested in what they were offering you, but really it was just that you had a lot of anxiety around what to do with the connection deep down, but there wasn't communication around that, right? So what I mean by that is maybe there was some interest there, but because you were still trying to figure out underneath the surface, like, okay, how do I really feel about this? Should I pursue it? Should I not pursue it? You might have been just acting like you weren't interested at all. All right, past energy on their side, we have the Lovers. So this is the major arcana card for Gemini. And given that we see Gemini energy there and on your side, for you guys, Gemini is your energy of friendships. So for some of you, it could have just been a situation where maybe you guys were friends and you were trying to figure out, okay, well, would this make things weird, right? If we go to the next level, I'm comfortable with this friendship. I don't want to ruin the friendship. Things that people tell themselves in those situations, right? Could have just been what you were going through, or possibly this could have happened during Gemini season. Because we had a Mercury retrograde during Gemini season, and now coming into Libra season toward the end of September, there's going to be another one. So maybe these same themes are coming back up for you guys. But yeah, that could be one way it's playing out. Another way could just be saying that maybe you thought that they were talking to multiple people, so that might have made you feel a little bit uneasy around what was going on with the connection too. But either way, it looks like there was definitely a little bit of a gap around communication in the past. All right, in the present position on your side, we have the Princess of Arrows. So this is the Page of Swords, and this does represent coming forward with some communication. Now we see where her back was turned in the past. In the present, she's at least looking in their direction. And with the arrow there, and also with the butterflies, it makes me think of that term that they give you butterflies in your stomach. So it looks like there could be some nervousness around communicating with this person, but it looks like you're going to be doing it anyway. And usually with traditional tarot as well, with the Page of Swords, we see the guys kind of like in a slightly nervous stance because they're not at that high comfort level. But looks like you guys will be communicating. And for some of you, it could be around the time of that full moon in Aquarius we're about to have, actually. Even though this is a September reading. But present energy on their side, we have the World. So this usually represents contentment, fulfillment, completion. So for some of you, it could just be as simple as that, that just having you guys actually opening the lines of communication with each other could make them feel like they're happy. Maybe that could have been what they were primarily going for anyway, right? With that Gemini energy, it could just be saying that they had that open energy to them. But of course, especially if this is Gemini energy or an air sign in general you're dealing with in the past, communication would be important to them. So maybe they see that as success, that, okay, in the past, they weren't really talking to me, right? They had their back turned to me. With the Eight of Swords, it doesn't like there was much communication there either. Okay, now at least we're talking. So they could just view it as success there. If not, that could just be saying that in their lives they might just be going through some successes in general. All right, and future energy on your side, we have the Four of Staves, Aries energy, and the Nine of Arrows, Gemini energy. So it's interesting because to see you bringing this energy, on one end, we would say, oh, okay, now they're actually a lot more sure of themselves that, yeah, we do actually see the potential of this relationship. Whereas, like before, it looks like there was a lot of doubt there, going from the Four of Cups to the Four of Staves. But now, where we had the Eight of Arrows, underneath that, now we have the 9 of arrows. So it looks like you're moving there, right? But there's still some underlying doubts and concerns that you're having. But the key being, I feel like you're still not communicating them, right? So maybe now you're more present, or rather, in the future you will be, since this is in the future position. I feel like this is saying you guys are going to be more present in the connection, but still not addressing some things that you want to address, right? Could be anything. Maybe you feel like they're moving the connection along too fast, or for others of you, maybe it's the other way around. You might feel like they're the ones who are trying to keep their options open, and you're the one who wants something more solid and stable between the two of you. Either way, it looks like there's communication that's not happening between the two of you, and with that symbolism there, I feel like this is saying in your dream world, or possibly just, listening to music, watching a TV show, you name it, there could be synchronicities that are coming along, kind of nudging you forward toward communicating what these concerns are to this person. But I'm not sure if you're going to be making that move. Again, given that this is in a future position, this could point to the fact that that Mercury retrograde you guys are going to have is going to be in your 3rd house of communication. So you might really start to feel that energy around that time. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. And future energy on their side, we have the King of Chalices. So this is the trump card for Scorpio. So could just be saying that this month, they'll, for me, this says that they do definitely have feelings, but they might not be as open and expressive about them. Now, this could also be a bit of a stubborn energy as well. So maybe that's the energy that you're picking up on, where you might feel like they have the trajectory for the relationship in their mind, right? And you just might be going along with it, which seems a little doubtful because you're also a fixed energy, so I don't necessarily see you just, whatever, this is what they want, I'm going to go along with it. But at least that might be the impression that you get from them. Let me see what else comes to mind. This, if nothing else, in a more positive sense, too, this could just say that they feel really at home with you, because for you guys, Scorpio energy is your 4th house. So something to keep in mind there. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have love. So this is the equivalent to the Lovers. So Gemini energy once again. So they had in the past. Now we see it at the bottom of the deck on your side. Could just be saying again that maybe the love is there, but maybe it's just on your end, you might have a little bit of a doubt of the relationship itself, right? So, okay, I feel love for you, but like I said, maybe for some of you, we've been friends for a long time. No, I don't want to ruin the friendship, right? Or, this relationship is moving too fast for me, or, I want something more stable than you're offering, right? So it could just be one of those things where there might need to be a conversation, but underneath it all, looks like there's definitely love there. So that's always, of course, a good foundation to have anyway. And speaking of love being there, actually, underneath that we have the Prince of Cups, which is the equivalent of the Knight of Cups, which is Pisces energy. So maybe around that Pisces full moon, you guys might have that discussion. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the 4 of Chalices. So this is 4 of Cups energy. So interesting, actually. I didn't realize that at first, but bottom of the deck on your side, we have what they had in their past position. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have what you had in your past position. So this could actually be saying that the feelings the two of you have might be a lot more similar than you might think on the surface. There just might be a different way of expression, For example, especially if it is a Scorpio, right, and you're a Leo, could just be different modes of expressing the feelings, but could just be saying that the feelings underneath it all are a lot more similar than you think. But with this deck in particular, what I could see with this, what I could see this pointing to as well is I always say with this deck in particular, those two people, I don't know, it looks like there's something shady going on with that conversation, right? It kind of looks like they're looking over their shoulder. And I don't know, this guy's that old hood on and everything. Just something about that vibe always seems a little shady to me. So this could just be saying that they might have people in their ear giving them some advice with ulterior motives, So definitely be on the lookout for that. That could, of course, be another retrograde theme too, right? Maybe their ex might come back along in the picture. But with the scissor there, that makes me think of cutting cords. And then with the magnet right next to it, I feel like it's saying that their attempt would fail, but it could just at least be something that might resurface for you guys, especially during the Mercury retrograde. So just a super generic, tangible way it could play out. Maybe one of their exes will come back around that time. But yeah, like I said, given what I see overall, I don't necessarily see it as being successful. But maybe that's even something you might see in the background, right? Maybe you might All right, here's another super generic example. Let's say that you follow each other on social media, and all of a sudden you see that their ex starts following them and commenting on their post, right? And that might freak you out a little bit, but then you might not address it with them, and then it might bloom into this big issue, and it might not even need to be one, you know? No, it's kind of a weird, very much modern example of how the energy could play out, but hopefully that resonated with you guys. All right. So next we'll move on to the Oracle deck. First we'll see if we get anything from Aqua Moonlight deck here. And I'm just going to be looking for jumpers here. First I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, we'll move on to the next deck. But occasionally we get extra messages here, so we'll see if we get any. All right, got one there. Don't want to go back in. And next we'll see if we get any from them to you. All right, nothing coming up yet, but I'll give it a few more shuffles. All right, got one there. So let's see what we got on your side first. All right, we have jealousy. And it did focus, but then it didn't. Let's see if we can get it focused again. There we go. It says, I feel like you've moved on without me, and that's difficult for me to see. So, interesting message there. For some of you, that could be what was going on in the past, right? Because I did mention for some of you, it looks like you weren't showing interest. And I thought that this Eight of Arrows was more about just general anxiety that you had around a connection, which was why you were kind of taking that approach toward things. But could just be saying that while you were declining their offers, maybe you did see them with other people, and that could have been what sparked some jealousy. For others of you, like I said, it could even be in the future with that example I gave, where like maybe their ex starts following them again on social media, but you don't address it with them. But yeah, I could see how that plays out in the connection for sure. So hopefully that resonated. And then on their side, we have gesture. It says, I'm going to come sweep you away. Well, interesting there. I mean, the only reason this seems to not fit as well is because it seems like with that Princess of Arrows energy, it would be you guys who would be making the approach first. But I mean, maybe it's possible that once you open those lines of communication, given that we do see the World card there, might be the green light that they're looking for, kind of, and then they say, okay, well, now I'm good to move forward, right? But again, if you feel like that's too fast for you or not fast enough, whatever the case may be, you still might need to communicate about that in the future. But yeah, like I said, that one seemed to fit a little bit better. This one, a little bit, but hopefully I resonate with you guys. And lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. I pre-shuffled this deck as well, too, but we're just looking for one card here. We'll wrap up. Alright, so nothing's coming up, so what I'm going to do is we'll just put the deck down and pull a random card. So give me a few seconds to tune in, and that's what we'll do. Okay. Go with this one here. We have Fork in the Road. Here's the artwork, and the number is 13. So, let's see. It says, time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. The Oracle's message: every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid disjunction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. So yeah, reading that definitely seems like that Princess of Arrows energy that we saw there, which, like I said, for the majority of you, it looks like you would reopen the lines of communication. But hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says you've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love, or to remain isolated? To go deeper and commit to mutual passion, or to walk away? This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do, invest, and give, then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. If you move forward with a relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity of genuine connection. All roads lead to the lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on the path to a truer experience of the heart. So, pretty positive message there. Like I said, it definitely looks like you guys would reopen the lines of communication. I suppose that wouldn't be the case for all of you. And I mean, this card did move as well, so we'll just take a quick look at what it is. Alright, and this one's deep knowing. So this one's definitely about relying on your intuition, trusting what you're feeling. So hopefully that resonates with you guys too. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. Alright, bye.